Hi, my name is Camila Campos, and I'm here to talk about the things I've learned during the interpersonal communication course that have made me a better communicator overall. I'll talk about some of the modules we went through and the key focus I got from each one, and how they all make me overall better at communicating. So, first of all, I want to discuss that communication is universal, but it is so personal and so different and specific to everyone. Everything can have a different, it's all about perception because everything can have a different view in someone's eyes than it does in yours. And I think it's really important to understand that to be able to understand everything else we've learned in this course. It's all about perception. So, the first part I want to talk about is self perception. In this module, we learned about the different effects that can occur when you're meeting someone or first impressions, that type of thing. And one of the effects that I learned about is called the primacy effect, where you develop your first impression of someone by information you've received from them or about them through other people. Without meeting them, you might have a positive view of them or a negative view of them. For me, I would say I can gossip a little bit with my friends. We talk about bad things about people or good things about people. Usually it's the bad, and then when I meet them, I don't want to be their friend, so automatically I'm going to start bad. And I think being self-aware about these perceptions that I can develop about people and these effects makes me a better communicator, makes me a more open person. The next one I want to talk about is verbal communication and the textese discussion. So textese, we learned about the different dialects that can occur in an informal and formal communication setting. I think it's important to know that they're two distinct areas so that you are able to switch from one to the other and not mix up using slang and shorthand in a formal setting. In nonverbal communication, in this discussion, when we watched the TED Talk, I learned so much about how our outward expressions are expressions of our inward emotions. And this is so important because when I want to feel small and comforted, I kind of crawl up into a little ball and I'm sad. But when I'm confident, I stand up straight with my head back. And it's great to know one or the other, how I look, how I differentiate, and how I make myself seem to others. And the next thing I want to talk about is social media connections. So the way that the whistleblower exposed Facebook, and then all those societal standards that they have, that they create with social media, and they don't inform the public about. And so I think she did a great job because we need to know about these things so that we aren't creating in our head like these standards of what beauty is or what social media should look like, because it's different for everyone. And the last thing I want to talk about, probably the most important thing we've learned about, is conflict and managing conflict. Conflict begins with perception. That's one thing that I saw all throughout that module. It can be something as small as some miscommunications, or just reading body language incorrectly, or knowing and recognizing some tones and some mannerisms are specific to people and aren't always used negatively or positively. It really just depends on how they're used to using it. And the 5 methods of resolving conflict have helped me so much so far, and I'm sure will help me for the rest of my career regardless, because conflict is unfortunately unavoidable. Competing, avoidance, accommodating, collaborating, and compromising. Out of all those, I think collaborating involves the most work, obviously, because you both end up with a positive result. And that's what I hope to use in the future. I want to collaborate with all my coworkers. I'm going to start now, not wait for the opportunity, but start now and be proactive. Because all of these modules and this course has taught me to be efficient in my communication, to be straight, to be understanding and open